So I was just opening up the game to get to the menus that I could start. Um, so it had me enter my time. I didn't show this on stream last time because it was like boot up processes. I wanted to get to settings and everything. It had me set brightness as you would expect, and then it had me set the local time. And then I got this. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set to 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. What the fuck? So dumb, and I love it. Hang on. I gotta check the achievements now. Hang on. No, okay, I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. We're just gonna jump back into it. Alright, I don't know what I'm looking for this. I don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna go down a couple more paths. The ones that I'm aware of from the vanilla game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Sure is. I'm just gonna leave it for now.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number
I see the intro is still glitched as always. Beautiful.
Sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Okay, we're just gonna skip that because clearly it's glitched. That's fine. Welcome back. Yep. So I guess we will just
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hello there.
Oh, hello.
So I have went down a rabbit hole that I will not be able to climb up from.
Oh.
Someone coerced me to join into a fate-based text RP.
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Right, so I don't know. I'm gonna check down this way again because I don't know if things change or not.
Right, let me load up the.
Am I? I don't know
The
if I'm
Twitch.
sharing it or not. Hang on. Should actually
You are
fix
not
that.
sharing your screen right now.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Doesn't look like we're doing the dark ride again.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
No, this
the original
sounds...
Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
What? Okay. Yeah, no, this is new.
See, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a
427.
Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
That's very subtle, and I love that. Testing two printers at the same time, and the bottom half of the page is corrupted. That's very subtle. Investor showcase.
Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
It's just the fucking, like, Drake meme. Just like, Ultra Deluxe, nah, but sequel. What even... What does that even say? Just the two of us? We can make it if we try. Oh my god. Also, Pokemon, if you're talking, you were not coming through. Hang on. Hello? Discord might be having some issues. Ah, well. More teaspoons, better teaspoons, win-win, sequential, paradigm shift, brick and mortar. Color red! Average holistic value. 2 doors! Oh my god. Cool red section of the chart, boring sections of the chart. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so dumb. Yeah, I think Discord's having some issues.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Is Discord just having issues? Hmm. I do not know what the issue with Discord is right now. So yeah, we'll just need to... Yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now. It's fine. Don't know what the issue with Discord is, but we'll just keep it running. New features, you say? New content bus? Can't get into it. That I can tell. Also, is it, like, really... Oof. That is very janky on the stream, actually. Hang on. Okay, we're gonna do this. See if that helps. Hmm. Could you not? Could you not right now? Ugh. Okay. So
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
yeah, do let me know if the stream is still having issues. Hey, Michael, how you doing? This t-shirt is the best new feature. God. Button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Oh, I'm too curious about that.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I don't know. Guess we're about to find out. Is it just gonna say Stanley? It says player, but
Jim. Sorry, I should
Nope.
have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Oh,
But
of course.
in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Imagine if somebody
Yeah,
named
let's
Jim
say you
actually
play as Jim to
played
really
the
simulate
game.
the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping
Yep,
and waking
got it.
as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Oh,
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I don't know if I want
If so,
to.
Then please step forward and press the button. Jim. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Okay.
Jim. It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
Yeah, totally.
Let's take a break from the
100%.
Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal
From the
validation.
Jim button. No.
Oh there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
No.
I'm
Never
glad
enough
you've
Jim.
underway.
No. No.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
So dumb. Oh my god. Jim. It's okay. I am now Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually
Yeah?
save me the work of finishing this feature.
You know, you're right.
Dialogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, about that. Collectibles, oh my god. Reassurance bucket, what the fuck? Okay, no, we've got to check out the collectibles. Jesus, this is so big. Oh my god, there's so many places. Can you find them?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you
this is
unremarkable life.
Ooh, this is very concerning. Oh god. Collect them all, huh?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely.
Oh, the jump circle!
You
Wait.
know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative
What?
piece.
No! No! No, I need more give me more jumps! Oh, okay. New, free, and easy achievement. I mean, I'll take it. Give free achievement. It just works. It just works. I
Now,
want an
here's
achievement.
something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Ooh.
Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Well, excellent. Let's...
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
No.
Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it
No,
will
I
be
want...
fixed in the
No.
to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous
want-
fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature.
I want the
Gamers,
achievement.
we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
No, I want... Give. 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 How do? Give. I don't think it's working. Boo. Boo. Piss. Alright. I don't know what the oh fuck was about, but yeah. Is it the achievement?
What else? What other
Infinite hole, huh? We're gonna check that one out last, I think, because I don't think there's coming back from a bottomless hole. It's just the two of us. Okay, let's see here. This map, you are here. Yes, yes, yes. We found the jump circle. Free achievement that doesn't work. Name, merch, we saw that. Setting world champion. Did we see that? I don't think so. Oh, hello. I am gonna remember that because I get the feeling that is probably the time I need to set 3:44, huh?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday, or happy 12th birthday, step niece. What? What? I like blue.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday.
Yes. I mean, they're both.
Oh, actually, maybe I should have gone with. No, I've made my decision.
Look at all the balloons!
You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to
Oh,
move on
okay, come on now. Come on now. No need to be childish. Okay, so there's that. That's the office decorations. Oh, the bucket, right. We need to go check out the bucket. Alright, we'll check out the bucket and then the infinite hole. The bucket. Reassure me, bucket. I need reassurance that I am Jim.
A common complaint of the Stanley parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley parable reassurance bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart.
Oh, there it is.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Ah.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Yes. Heavy
Can you
heavy
feel
weapons
it?
guy?
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Do
All
they?
this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I mean, I guess. Oh, we get to keep the bucket!
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I agree. I want more buckets. This is a bucket. Alright. What? Do I need to actually do the achievement to get into there? Probably. I'll figure that out later. It's fine. Or I could do it now. Or do it now. I won't do it right now. It seems tedious. Interesting. Okay. Rim, depth, infinite, surrounding area. What? Whole, depth, space, more whole, question mark, science, infinity, just more, falling, educational use only, huh? Alright, well, if it's for educational use, I suppose, it just keeps going. Noted. Oh.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I mean, okay. Down we go.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
Right.
Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
No. We continue to fall.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Why?
Do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? What could possibly be at the bottom? It's the bottomless hole. There's no bottom.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of
What?
the
No, don't sell yourself
It's a
short.
very deep hole. To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well...
I found the bottom.
For you, you found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this
I don't
behind us
say
and
anything.
agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Or
If that works for you,
I-
then go ahead and press the teleport
Why are there so
button
many
to walk
cigarettes
up to the
down
top
here?
of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I'm so tempted.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The
Yeah!
problem is that you like holes too much. Not me. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have
Whee!
a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel like you
Huh.
spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean,
Weird.
admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
No.
I really do have so much more to show you
Yep.
and to talk about.
Yep.
I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
As have you.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Huh.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I'm starting to see a
I've
problem
become
here.
extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
That seems
I
weird.
suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here?
I don't
Stanley,
know.
I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point.
Weird.
It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge?
I can't
You
jump
just
out.
do whatever it is you're here to do, and hit the teleport button
Sure.
when you're ready to move on. Is the teleport button not working?
No,
You
it's not.
sure?
Yeah, pretty
Well,
sure.
I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago.
Yeah,
Try it
clearly.
again.
All right. Nope, still not working.
Still nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out.
What?
Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now
No.
you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for.
No,
It's a win for everyone.
Narrator, help.
You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else.
If you really think
Take
about
care,
it, I have
Stanley.
2 holes.
I hope you and the hole have a wonderful...
Because the bucket also is a hole. Goodbye, narrator. Oh. Oh. What? Hello? Oh, I don't like that. What is happening? Hello? Oh. Oh no, what? What? Hello? What the fuck? I've got the bucket. What? What the fuck? What is this? I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. What? Oh! Oh! I like that one a lot, actually.
Stanley!
Oh.
Good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there,
Oh.
drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it.
Oh.
You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
No. Oh god. Oh god, is happening again. Oh! Is that it? Oh. No, we're back here.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Well. Still no jumps. Right, where was the exit? We might not have too much more. Yeah. Boy was I wrong. And so it's back there, it looks like. Epilogue over there. Can I hit the lever with the bucket? Bucket, help me get the achievement. Bucket. Bucket, you are not helping. Bucket, please. Alright. No, that's fine. I didn't want it anyways. I totally wanted it. Oh, over there? Yeah, over there. Exit. I see it. Alright, well, I think that's everything. At least as far as I'm aware.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yeah, I
Ready
believe
to
so.
Move on now?
Yeah. Oh boy.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange
Yeah.
these new features together,
Ooh.
and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Well, there's the
Well,
hole.
I mean, there's
I want
potential
another
here,
bucket.
right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
Give me the bucket.
Hold on.
Wait,
Let me do a
we have
different
jumps.
arrangement.
We have jumps again. No,
Okay,
no,
yes,
let me down there.
This is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Oh my god.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
I'm Jim. I wanted
more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Peacefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Does it really work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
If it actually says that, I'm gonna laugh.
Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's an actual title screen.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Alright, are we still gonna have broken intro?
Stanley worked for a company in
Oh, the
building
balloons!
where he was employee number
Balloons!
427. Employee number 427's job was
I don't know why the intro is
sat
broken,
at his
but
desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's up with the intro.
And then one day, something very
Oh.
happened. Something that would forever change
Oh.
Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh boy, oh boy. We've got the balloons now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
The bucket! God, how much has this actually changed now? I don't know. Oh, the new content door is gone.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Sure, narrator. Alright. We'll play the game. We'll see where this goes. down this rabbit hole. It's fine.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Is there a broom closet with the bucket? Oh my god, please. It's not locked.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Oh, it does!
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy?
Yeah!
It's as clear as day, this broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
Oh
It's
my
a
god.
bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley.
Yes.
Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Oh, never.
I know how hard it must be.
Never.
Given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket.
God.
This is your companion
My
and
bucket.
lifelong friend.
Dear God.
Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and
How
convenient?
dare!
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object
Never.
which lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner?
No!
Never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it.
How dare!
Broom closet
How
for its
dare!
demeaning comments. Expand on
That-
the wide
that broom-
variety of experiences
broom
you
does
and
look
the
pretty
bucket have
good, though.
shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have
Yes. Broom closet too. This is the closest I can do to talk in this game.
it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for
Oh.
all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet.
Yeah!
Meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies.
Yeah!
And the relationship to broom closets in the natural order of
This is
things.
my bucket! Property of Stanley! This is my
Right,
bucket!
I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Yeah! Bucket!
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There
Ah.
really is a wide
Yep.
variety of applications for this sticker.
I see. Any more stickers? Well, now I'm just gonna wait here for a little bit.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You
Yeah.
can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Yeah. How dare! Shame on you! Shame. Hang on. Just need to be sure. Just want to be sure. Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's anything more. Yeah, bucket property of Stanley.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Will do. Now I've got to keep on the lookout for those. No reason other than to collect them.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it.
Yeah.
The two of them were inseparable.
Yeah.
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Yep. Nope. Just me and my bucket. Herder, look at me, I'm the boss.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
What happens if I fuck up intentionally with the bucket now, I guess?
2845. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override
excellent,
and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Hey, me and my bucket won't take kindly to talk like that, so you shush.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This,
yeah!
There really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands?
Ooh.
Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
Well, I mean,
it would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I can't leave with
Wait,
that pressed.
Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
All the dialogue has changed because we have the bucket. Oh my god.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Oh my god.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
Oh, that's so tempting. Why would you say that, narrator? Oh, no. Alright, now I've got to. Now I just have to.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet.
Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me.
Oh,
You and I
God.
have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Oh my god, I'm losing it. This is so dumb and I love it.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Maybe if we go back to the button. Maybe if we go up one more time. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public
Oh
on
no.
all matters relating to pressing the number 3
Oh no.
over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive.
There was someone
and
over there.
passionate. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Did they change the name of the book? Yeah! 2 stage and all the 3s!
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Yes! Oh my god, yes! All the fucking 3s! 3, that's the magic number. Yes, it is. A shockingly 3-dimensional character. 3-star magazine. Oh my god. All the 3s. Oh, but they didn't change these! No, that's the same book! Oh, devs, come on. The dude who came up with pizza.
There was no one here.
What?
Nobody had come to the press conference to hear
What?
Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over.
No.
He
No.
was unloved,
It's
uninteresting. He was a
But the-
failure.
but the
And
number
in that
3.
moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously.
No. Oh
There
no.
would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less. neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Wait, I heard someone. There's someone out there. I heard a cough. Someone, I need to tell you about the number 3, please. Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room. Ooh.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed
Wait, what?
over him.
What? What do you mean awaiting input? What? What? Oh, is it... Did the game reset a lot of this stuff because this is technically a new game? So, like, do I need to find those again, I guess? What the heck?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Ooh. Ooh. Warehouse access plan. Reduce one plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. What? Wait, there's a secret in that room? Oh no, that's the red and blue. Oh, Pokemon. Pokemon is the white door, I think. In the red and blue ending. Somewhere both red and blue. Stairs, something to do with stairs. A large room, lots of boxes. Inside of a sequel exhibit, nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. There to be, take it from me, gotta collect them all. Looks like 427. God. This is so dumb and I love it. Possible clue. The completionist instinct. Investigation pointless. Do we need contracts for them? NDA potential liability. Well, we forgot what we know, what we don't know yet. Bonus stuff. What the fuck? What? Who took these pictures of them? Red room. Oh my god. Alright.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas,
Yo.
no stickers.
Okay. Well, alright. If that's... You sure? You sure there's no more stickers? Okay. Okay, fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
But what if we go down? There a shiny? Yes!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Is the bucket gonna
All
keep me
because he believed
sane?
everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe.
He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just
no!
everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
Oh no!
How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
No!
Who knows what
The
sort
bucket!
of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
No!
Now he noticed the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh,
No, the
gracious,
bucket.
he exclaimed. Without
My
my
bucket.
I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket
The
after the
buckets.
next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
All the
Come
bucket.
to me, Stanley! Find me!
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him.
Oh no.
all along. It was incredibly painful.
Oh no!
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Oh. Huh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Yeah?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man
She's got
who
a
had stumbled
bucket.
through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh my god.
Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything.
Of course.
Yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Yo. Rad. The fucking bucket endings are so good. Alright, hang on. The sequel is now paused. Excellent. What the fuck? It's so good. It's so fucking good. Alright. Alright. Hang on. Is Discord still having issues? It looks like it. I don't know why it's still having issues. It's so weird. Only today we've been having issues with this, so that's really weird. I don't... Yeah, I don't know. Very weird. there's an update, so we'll see if that works. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Gotta get my
The
bucket.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Excellent. I think it's off the balcony, yeah?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Perhaps.
How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
No, bucket is never wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nah.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Oh.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket
Oh,
was
is there now?
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Did I now?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there.
Oh,
It says,
no.
buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was
No.
okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I
What?
suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Oh no.
Please, step in here for
Ooh, what? Okay, here we go. I don't know where to go with this, but oh boy.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios,
this
and you'll
a
tell me whether or
bucket?
not the thing I'm showing you is a
Dear
bucket.
God.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay. let's
Okay,
begin.
okay. We can do this. We can do this. Is this a bucket?
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes. That is a
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual
Oh.
bucket.
Fair enough.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual
I-
bucket.
Fair enough. It's okay. It's okay. We're doing fine. We got this.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
100%.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is a bucket.
Yeah. See, we're acing this. We got it. Oh,
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
heck yeah, it is. Oh.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
What?
It's an
No,
enormous
it's
machine
totally-
that tills
it's-
the earth. I thought this
Yeah,
was a
but
gimmick.
I-
How on earth did you manage to screw it up?
But it's a-
Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next
But-
one.
No, it's got like a bucket. Yeah, Alright.
Is this a bucket?
Well, I mean, if you said that the last one, but I mean, clearly you wouldn't. Yes, it absolutely is.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Well, got it.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
100%, it's a bucket.
Trick
What?
question. Both. Gotcha.
Oh, what? What do you mean both?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't
What?
find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore
What?
nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow
No, there's
convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing?
No, that's a
Answer
bucket.
me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No, everything is a bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused. to even
Everything
say
is a
why.
bucket.
I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is?
Yeah,
Am
I totally
a
do.
bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Yes,
I'm losing myself, and
You're-
myself
you're a
is
bucket.
all I ever had to begin with.
you're
I'm
a
afraid
bucket.
The bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry.
No, don't you
I'm going
dare.
to raise all buckets
No,
entirely.
don't you dare.
Okay, here we go.
No. Don't. No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes!
Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Yes! That's what I've been trying to tell you!
No idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all.
I tried to tell you everything is buckets. It's buckets all the way
You're not
down.
a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
It's
Yes,
buckets all the way
I feel
down.
much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Yeah.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But
Yes.
if you run into anyone else, maybe don't
Excellent.
mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
All buckets.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet.
Okay.
Simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
So is this still here or no? Okay, so they don't repeat. That's fine.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Heck yeah, we did,
Was it
baby.
the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket is my friend. What happens if we try and escape with the bucket?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Bucket, are we gonna die at the end of this hallway? Yeah, I don't think so. Bucket is with me. We're doing this.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, I trust in the
At
bucket.
this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
No. The bucket has my back. We're not trusting you. Let's go, bucket. You and me, bucket. You and me. Let's go, bucket.
As the machine whirred into motion, and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's
Well-
warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
No,
To be sure, it
no.
puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself.
No.
He sort of kicked
The
himself
bucket
for
isn't
wasting so
worthless.
much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
No. My bucket will save me.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
What? Only the bucket, though, huh?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
Yeah.
It's true that all buckets are arranged in their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
You
It was
right.
a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh, the bucket. I don't have the bucket anymore. Is this the bucket's eulogy? No! You're standing at the masterpiece of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched with and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history are the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind that what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? Is this a well?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
What's up there? Is this supposed to be the bucket ascending to heaven? 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as the result of euphoria from exposure to those many buckets. I think there's more than 25 buckets. They're all buckets. Also, this is just one bucket. It's a painting. It's a bucket. Everything is a bucket, including that painting, which is a bucket. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design is never created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death for attempting it. Oh, how dare they try to improve perfection. Truly, this is the hubris of man. Inferno bucket, huh? A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains. No one can control a bucket. You write a stress bucket analogy. Put everything in. Presented without commentary. Noted. Yep, nope. Makes sense to me. Perfect sense. Oh. Now this is a bop. While we know that the buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Oh my god.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as
No.
dazzling to behold as this one.
Of course not.
It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Oh, it's the bottomless hole! Whee! Oh.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Yeah?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
I gotcha. It all makes sense. Oh my god. Okay, I can't... Alright. Oh? Hello?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message
How do I stop?
into your perceptual sphere.
No.
Thank you.
Stop it.
Have a pleasant day.
Doing me a concern. Alright, I can't take the bucket with me if I want the figurine.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
So if you don't
Perhaps
take
he
the
wanted to
button,
stop by the
or
employee
if you
lounge
don't
first,
take the bucket,
just to admire
you
it.
don't get the extra content.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
They
his left.
re-recorded the entire game for the fucking bucket.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't
This
5
is
years ago.
amazing.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Yeah?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Is there now?
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Maybe.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Maybe.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to
Oh,
help you,
buckets past
to
this
show you
point.
something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Oh.
Give me a chance. You're getting close now, Stanley.
Yes.
You've gotten all of the Figler and Marines.
Figler
Very
and
soon,
Marines?
you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Yes.
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Stanley reset the game. I just wanted the figure.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone.
Just
Not
need to
with the
check if
bucket
they...
around. Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone.
Oh my
Now,
god.
And for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
Excuse
The bucket
me?
tells Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed,
Oh.
desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret.
Oh.
And the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay.
I
If
see.
only it had been stronger.
Mm.
Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket
Oh,
furrowed
no.
its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambharata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then
machinations.
and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
What?
This is stupid! You are a bucket!
No, I would never
This
say
is
that.
so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As
I
Stanley
would
screamed
never.
and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power.
Oh?
Its fangs glistening like...
Oh. Oh.
My God.
Oh, no.
Stanley, you did it. You saved us
Oh,
from the
no.
bucket. Thank God you
No,
already
the
had all
bucket.
12 emblems of sages
What?
and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power.
No.
I'm speechless.
My
You've
bucket.
demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and
My
we'll agree to
bucket.
never again go trifling with this bucket,
No,
nor
my
the
bucket.
dark magic cast away inside of it.
My bucket. Wait, no. No, no, no. Hang on, is there... I don't see the gym button in here, no, okay. This would be the place to hide the gym button. I would have expected them to hide the gym button in here, but... This is just button heaven. We have re-unlocked button heaven. So it is all is right in the world. Okay. Button heaven is re-unlocked. We can rest easy now.
All of his
Right,
co-workers
what
were
else
calm.
should we do?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I will never abandon
The
you.
good old bucket. Just
Yes.
Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place
What?
eventually.
What?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
What the...
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game. Like
Broom
the Adventure
closet.
Line and the broom closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've
No.
never seen before.
How dare.
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
No.
Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
That's why I came down here, yeah.
Adventure Line goes somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh boy. Yeah, we got the Adventure Line back.
Now
Oh.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then.
I don't
Let's do it
remember
for the
that
fans,
line off the
Stanley.
top of my
Let's
head.
give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No. Don't make me give up the bucket. Don't take the bucket away from me again. Don't take my bucket away from me.
Don't you get it, Stanley?
No.
We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
I can leave.
I think it'll make
No.
a wonderful new addition
I
to the
refuse.
rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
I would rather
Can you
die
guess
with
what
the bucket.
Destroyer
I-
does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
I think I'm
Go
stuck.
ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket.
I think I've gotten
and then
stuck.
pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I don't think I can get back over the chairs. I think I got myself stuck. Well, this is awkward. I'm stuck. I got myself stuck! No! Alright, well. Oh. Oh. I think it blew a fuse or something. Well, I'm stuck over here, so I can't even like do anything over there anymore. Hmm. Yeah. Well, this is awkward. I'm gonna need to reset the game, I think. I can't get past the chair anymore. I climbed up onto that thing and I can't get back. Alright, well, rip. We're gonna need to go back there.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled.
Anywhere they went together would be... Stanley clutched the
Wait,
bucket
isn't
tightly
there-
to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh wait, no, that was the red and blue thing. Right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to
God.
be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
See, I would imagine the place with a bunch of boxes would have been like the,
I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this
I
bucket
do
you're
love the
carrying
adventure
around
line.
everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the adventure line and the broom closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the adventure line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
I just realized that the subtitles had it as trademarked.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
Instead of the line, it was
great
it.
Jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Okay.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
So I can't get up onto that chair.
I
But I
think
could
it'll
get
make a
onto these
wonderful new
ones.
addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Oh, 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 there we go. There we go.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley.
Oh.
Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I have once again escaped. And I am once again unsure if this is where I want to be. I get the feeling that they did that whole thing in the monitor room. They did that whole thing. And then they didn't check to see if this worked. The fools! They know not what they have wrought. They have no idea. Alright, well. Clearly they didn't plan for that. Alright. Alright. We'll be nice. We'll play by the rules. We'll stay in bounds.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. A good bucket. A strong bucket, a humble bucket.
We'll play by the rules.
And distinction.
We'll be nice. Well, this is a long hallway.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it?
No.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Okay, let's finish this ending, I guess.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the adventure line and the broom closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
No.
Don't you want another story
my
involving the
bucket.
adventure line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all
Oh, good
about.
stuff.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Never. How do I turn it off?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley
I
Parable
refuse.
characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
I
Quickly now.
refuse.
The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans.
No!
Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
So,
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
if you're wearing a hat, take it off, please. Just be respectful to the Bucket Destroyer. It was not its fault that it was created. Is that it? That was it.
All of his
All right.
were gone. What could it mean?
Well,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps the embrace of an old friend. A weathered
I think we're gonna do the
that
other
stands
path
the
there
test of time.
last.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
I'm too curious. I want to
This was not the
see.
correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind.
The
was
bucket.
wrong.
The bucket is
Stanley
life.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Wait.
Go to the cargo
There!
lift.
I see it! This is the bridge. Haha!
The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stig-
Savor this
I-
moment,
nope.
Stanley.
Don't like
This
that either.
is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Yeah!
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
Oh.
So, instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can
Yep.
go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
We did it. Job well done. I don't think there's a safe way out. Oh, wait. Hello. What's this way? Hello? Where is this? What the heck? Hello? Hello? What?
I don't even know. I've lost track.
What the fuck?
Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket.
The bucket is worth
But
more.
I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Oh. What? What? Hello? Oh. Well. Well, that was something. I don't know what it was. Sure was something, though. Now I've got to check and see if that bridge is there normally and if the bucket changes that or not, aren't I? Alright. What?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's just...
Oh, that was trippy.
Those figures.
Yeah?
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Yeah.
Yes,
Let me
I
get
know
my
we're
bucket.
supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. What? Alright. You know, narrator, this seems like a reward for finding the collectibles. Wait, what? Wasn't there something here before? Doesn't look like they changed too much around here.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Wait. So if I grab this, is it going to say 7? Yep.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Yep.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I don't think there was one in the boss's office, so I'm pretty sure it's this way, yeah?
No, 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 no. Under the stairs was the fourth place you found a Stanley, not the third. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the third place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments? Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found Figley in his pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Yes. Yes, totally. Yep. I totally remember that room.
This was the fifth mini-Stan, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Boy.
Enjoy.
Oh boy. It's a Windows Movie Maker video! Oh god, it's glitching out. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, the game does not like these cutscenes, and I don't know why. The fucking clip art is so good. Best boy narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Spent 8 minutes on it. So good. What's back here? Oh, we're supposed to go this way. I see.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Ah, yes, of course.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh. Alright, well...
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yep, let's do it. Heck yeah.
Yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and,
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yes. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah.
Yup.
I love that video.
That was a video, alright. Sure was.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah. I like it. It's very cute.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Yes, of course. Can I go over here? No. What was that sound?
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Oh. Do I have more jumps? Do I have more jumps?
It's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on.
No,
I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on
can't
everything.
jump.
In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more.
I want more jumps. More jumps! Alright. Want more jumps.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Yes. They both lead into the same... Yeah. And the office.
And before everything else, there was your office.
But the...
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But
Oh god, we're getting way too fucking meta with this.
I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with.
Oh god, we're getting so fucking meta.
Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yeah?
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Well, good old bucket.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So what does it look like now that I've completed...
Still no one was here.
Back to
Stanley
the
needed
regular
bucket's
room.
Warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was with Stanley.
We must move
Okay.
on from this broom closet, simply because I have no
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Ah, so satisfying knowing that I have 18 trophies. got 18 figurines. This is what it means to go even further beyond.
Straight ahead through the large door that read,
All right.
Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Come on,
horrible secret
come on.
did this place hold? Stanley
I
and
can't.
the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I can't get up. All right. Rip. Rip the dream.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Well, except for Employee 234. That, I don't know what happened to that one, but you know.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except
The bucket. Yeah. Bucket is my friend.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Or bucket.
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Yeah.
He high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made
So
a sassy
cool.
comment about taking down the system.
System of a Down! Oh.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine.
Yeah.
Was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
What?
What? Wait. What was happening?
No.
Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
No. We need to...
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even
No.
the itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
No.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh. The bucket will never be free. Alright, it looks like we are not,
Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great. Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I have to see what the apartment ending looks like with this.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Alright, there's
Stanley
nothing
took the
left
door on
over
his left
there.
To go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Seems legit. I think there's 2 more endings
This
down
is
that
the
path
sad
that I can
story
check.
of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
But yeah, of course the bucket can speak to me. Bucket is my friend.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
No.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
I don't believe you. Don't listen to loud man. No.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket.
Yes.
Sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Yeah. Bucket is real.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
Rude.
Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Rude.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. Oh no, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
What?
Give it to
No.
me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
It's my bucket. It's my bucket. Well,
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent.
yeah.
Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded on.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was
Alright,
wrong.
well,
Stanley took the door on his left.
I have full confidence. The bucket will protect me.
No,
I have full
said the
confidence
bucket.
in the
Don't go
bucket.
to the meeting room.
I can
Go somewhere
fly!
else.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching. Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. Stanley cradled the bucket
Like
in a
Romeo
gentle
and Bucketette.
embrace. Protective, yet delicate. Assertive, yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
Yeah, it
should
seems
have
legit.
alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly
Of course it
did
does.
whatever the
Yep.
bucket asked.
Bucket is friend. Bucket is friend.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Adventure Path bucket.
Stanley
I
once
believe
again
I've already
obeyed
done that.
blindly.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The only other thing on the Adventure Path.
Now pick up the phone.
No.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Oh no!
It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Oh yes, here we go.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
I don't know.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes.
Ooh.
Let's dive deeper.
Excellent.
If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in
Why
all
is he yellow?
likelihood, You did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle to your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Donnie with the funny! I'm Johnny!
Good.
Yeah.
This saying is a perfect example of
Excellent.
expectations management,
Yes.
which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long.
Oh.
Should include the same question reprinted several times. Just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp.
No.
After all, with each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause.
When did this become Starship Troopers?
And their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think
Wait,
the fundamental
it's no longer a bucket. This isn't my bucket. This is not a bucket. Give me my bucket back.
With that in mind,
doesn't have the bucket sticker.
The only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Ah, yes, no, that tracks.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in
Gotcha.
stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call
Ah,
me.
yes.
Thank goodness
Yes.
we had the instructions.
Of course.
Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now?
Oh, I don't
You'd be
know.
the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
I don't trust this bucket. Doesn't have the bucket sticker. I'm watching you, bucket.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. It was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake.
Yeah, shame.
I made a fool of myself.
Yeah.
I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm
What?
not.
No,
Not
that's...
even the
I
lowliest
wouldn't say
joke
that.
telling
No, you're
I think-
fine. You're fine.
I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video.
I think the bucket is,
Yes,
yeah,
surely
it
that
might
will
have...
help me improve my...
Oh.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone.
Oh,
Did
yes,
you
of
not
course,
even
my
look at the
bad.
instructional
No,
video?
no,
I
that's
think
my
this was
bad. You're
all
right.
covered very clearly.
No, I'm
There's
sorry.
no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke
Oh,
is completely
well, I'm-
done.
all right.
Over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
Oh.
I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be
No.
shamed
From now on. No,
All
you're
because
fine.
You couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley.
No. Yeah.
I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No?
You gotta say I'm Dunny with the funny. You gotta say...
Pale with shame. Pale with shame.
Narrator. You gotta say... I'm Dunny with the Did you not watch the instructional video? Narrator!
Playing guitar.
Narrator!
No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes.
Narrator!
I need more instructional
I'm
videos.
Dunny with the say the line!
Will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Narrator's bad at this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Stanley's bucket. The only co-worker he would ever truly need.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's see here. What other endings can we do with the bucket? Yes, the true bucket. It has the sticker. We know this is really a bucket.
Comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Actually, I don't think we've done the escape.
Stepping in.
Excellent. Alright, let's escape, bucket. The facility tried to keep you here last time, but we won't let it do it again. Let's go, bucket. We're getting out of here. You and me, bucket. We're gonna leave this place behind. Let's get out of here. Let's go. I don't like that these rooms don't have the balloons in them. There's no... I got a vamp. There's no narrator to tell jokes. Whatever will I do? Boy, oh boy, I don't think I can, I don't know how I'm going to pale it. Nope, the narrator already made that one. This is a bucket. I'm Dunny with the funny! Oh, thank God. There it is. Get in there. I can't handle the pressure of having to come up with jokes on my own. Get us out! Oh, there's only room for one. No! Oh, no. A bucket full of fun. Damn it! No! Now I need to watch the instructional video again. Damn it! Farewell, bucket. I'll miss you!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
no,
he
we need
entered
to...
the door on his left.
We gotta go. We've got speed run time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We've gotta go.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to
Oh
get
no, I haven't done this
possible,
before.
he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind
Well,
of anxiety
all right.
isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
We had the speedrun room. We had the speedrun room. No.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
We had the speedrun room, but the narrator stopped us because he reset the game. No! It didn't save my progress, so he wouldn't let me enter the code.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Narrator, you jerk. How dare.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed
Whoop!
with television
Don't go
screens.
too far, please.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
We're so close.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Well,
whatever life he lives,
truly,
will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
Truly, this is the best ending.
The only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
We have sent
Stanley
the bucket.
Felt the cool breeze upon his
We have
skin.
fired the bucket
Feeling
off
of liberation.
into a rocket.
The immense possibility
It's free from this complex, and we have managed to escape.
Right now, the thing
We don't know where the bucket is, but one day we might be able to be reunited. Shut up, narrator. My story is better. Right, well, I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna let that play, but, we're gonna take a quick break real quick, and I will be right back, and we will hopefully finish this up. Shouldn't take too much longer, I assume. From what it seems like, most of the endings just have quote-unquote bucket versions of the endings, so I don't think we've got too many more of those, but we'll see. I'll be right back. All right. We are back.
All of his co-workers were gone.
So,
what could it mean? Stanley
from
decided
what
to
I
go
am
to the meeting
aware,
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
replacement bucket.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Oh, is it because I sent it out of the facility?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered
That's pretty
the door
good.
to his left.
Okay. I don't think there's one more on the right that we have to do. But I'm saving that one for last. That's the other version of the adventure line ending.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where.
Alright, down is an ending, but we've already gotten that one.
Bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We've got the escape ending, so we don't need to do that.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
5.
Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew
Okay.
all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
So I think, and we've already done the elevator by going up and down constantly. The pressing 3 is the true ending.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
There's one thing I can try.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
I want to see if
Horrible
this
secret
ending
did
is still the
place
same.
hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void.
They
below.
changed this one too.
Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Yeah.
Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Yep, well.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here.
Excellent.
A bit cold, perhaps. After some time,
Nice.
they installed a few shelves
Yeah,
as
baby.
well, and a
Yeah,
sort of
baby.
kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home.
Heck yeah.
In fact, after some time, Stanley
Ooh.
realized that it had been
Fancy
ages
lamp.
since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all.
Yeah,
He'd
no need to
never
worry about
gotten
that.
to fully explore what was up there. Never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets.
No,
The
I've got the
second-hand
bucket
hose
with me.
slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
No.
It unsettled the bucket.
Ooh.
greatly. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just
Oh,
a
I'm
hole
sure.
in the ground.
Sure, Twitch compression loves that.
It wasn't an ending, but it's where we happen to be. And
Oh
maybe,
yeah, get a
possibly,
good look at
if we
that.
accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Okay, so there's that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all?
No. No.
Surely not. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Then we need to activate the mind control facility for an ending. I think there's only one more after that. After that, it's just achievements, and I'll probably do that on my own time.
The large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Alright. We'll take it slow,
The lights
but not that
rose
slow.
on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
The bucket?
Stanley gasped.
Oh no!
In horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim...
Oh
the
no,
power for
bucket, what have you
itself?
done?
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Oh.
Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Oh. Yeah, silly birds. Oh, look at those penguins.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another. And
I don't know what that one's called.
This wasn't
oh,
a
little
mind control
hummingbirds.
facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Excellent.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
Yuck!
Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal...
It's the
genius
true
in his
duck.
hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
Does that go back?
Stanley
It
and the
does.
bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
Excellent.
Of all the possible
Oh, look at
paths
the
his life
owls.
could have taken, this one was surely
Duck.
the best.
Parrot.
And Stanley was happy.
Yeah. Birds. Bird watching. Excellent. Fucking bird watching ending. Excellent. Alright.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere.
Oh.
This adventure, he decided, was for all of them.
Yeah!
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley felt
It's
the
been a good
bucket
run,
connected,
Bucket. But
telling him that
unfortunately,
the employee
unlike all
lounge was
things,
simply the place to be.
this must
And here
come
it
to an
was. Had
end.
the bucket turned out to be correct? Was Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left.
We can all rest easily knowing that the true bucket, the real bucket, is safe out there somewhere. This is just the replacement bucket. Our bucket is out there, living a good life somewhere outside the facility. I don't need an intervention. The bucket is free.
We've come together here because we care
Let me out.
very much. It's this
No.
bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
I can't hear you.
The bucket isn't even from the original
La
Stanley
la la
Parable.
la
It's
la
just
la la.
sequel
Can't
content.
hear
We're
you.
the ones that
Can't
matter,
hear
Stanley.
you. The
Classic
bucket is all that
characters from the first
matters.
game, like the Adventure Line and the
Yeah.
Closet.
Adventure Line
Because
is good.
That's what fans want from a sequel.
Baby
They want
is
more of
evil,
their
though.
favorite jokes, not this bucket that
Baby
they've never
is
seen
evil.
before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what the fans want. Let's... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Good times. Good times.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I'm sorry.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it
Wait,
can't destroy
it won't
the
let me give it the
Destroying
bucket.
Buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
Well,
Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait
I
deserve
literally
to join
can't give it the
pantheon of
bucket.
Deluxe
That's
Stanley
great.
Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it for the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Literally wouldn't let me crush the bucket. That's so good.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential.
Farewell,
We were going to do
Bucket
such
Destroyer.
marvelous things with you. Tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Oh yeah, I never found the achievement lever. That's got to be somewhere in here, right? There is one more thing I do want to try before I end this. And that is, I did want to check and see if we go to the cargo area, if that ramp is still there and we can still get into the vent.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
So I'm gonna go check that real
Stanley
quick.
came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
Still one of my favorite
Eager
lines.
to get back to
It was
business,
okay.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
Okay, so the
it's
ramp
incredible
is
he
here,
wasn't
which
5
means we
years
can
ago.
get into the vent. So originally, when we got here, the tape was about the buckets.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I
Nah.
bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be
Depends on the
you.
story.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I'm sorry. Oh. Well, I think that's it.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out.
Don't know where the achievement machine is, so that's probably gonna have to be it. Because I'm not gonna just wander around aimlessly. I don't know too much more that can really be done. Because obviously can't get into there anymore. Because that's where it used to be.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So there's no more things over here, because go that way. We can go down. Can't remember. Is there a thing for getting back onto the path? I don't think so.
The bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
We also haven't found the
So
hole.
The two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
What if we go backwards? We can't go backwards.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I don't think there's anything else. So...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I can't think of anywhere else where that could be, so I might need to look some of that stuff up after this stream. And just go through some of those achievements on my own, especially the
Stanley
options
and the bucket walked
one.
straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
I can't think of anywhere else it would be. So, I'm not going to go through either of those full endings right now. I think we're just going to call it here. So, let me check something real quick. Yeah, we've got a little bit more time. So, I think we are going to transition over to something else real quick. So, this was very fun, and I look forward to just kind of completing that, wrapping everything up.